Hi, my name is Enrique Acevedo Ruiz. I'm from fifth semester in the career of Finance and Accountability, and today I'm with Rebecca Romero, who is a project manager that lived in India and Mexico, and she's gonna tell us a little bit about her experience, the main difference between the countries, the communication, and another lot of aspects about the cultural shock between those countries. So, Rebecca, can you tell us a little bit about what you did, what you do right now, and where did you reside in India?
My name is Rebecca Romero, and I work at the Finance Shared Service Center for International Flavors and Fragrances. I'm currently the business process owner for source to pay activities, and I take care of 5 different service centers around the world.
So, what can you say are the main differences between living in Mexico and living in India?
Having lived in India for a few months and working with people over there, I would say the main difference between living in Mexico and living in India were the working schedules. The shift started around 3 p.m. and ended after 1 a.m. So all the schedules that the companies set up for their staff are based on the customer needs. So for the customer that I was working for back then, which was North America, I had to be online during night time in India. But it was a very good experience in general.
What were the most challenging parts communication wise for you?
The most challenging about communication with my teammates was about instructions. I think um, everybody is learning English in different ways, but when it comes to accounting and finance, there are certain terms and certain activities which sometimes we take for granted that people will understand or can relate to a specific finance language wording. And it was not that case many times. So the most challenging part was trying to find day to day situation examples which the team could relate to in order to understand the instructions for the centralization project that I was doing back then. It was basically bringing work that used to be done in the United States into India, and when it came to explaining, for example, an invoice, what are the sales charges, the freight and shipping charges, and so on, it was a bit hard for them. So I think it was part of the challenges when some colleagues are not so familiar with the culture of the country that they are providing services to. You need a lot of examples to be able to ensure that the communication was well understood.
And how did you approach or solve those intercultural communication misunderstandings?
Well, in case of India, respect and seniority are basics for effective communication. So I went first to the manager, to the supervisor, and shared with him what I was observing and what my first impressions were. If I was hesitant to ensure that the team was understanding what I was trying to explain and what I was asking them to learn about, first I spoke with him, like, hey, I noticed this fellow over here wasn't really asking but was like intending to ask something, and when I asked about something he didn't quite understood it. So first of all I spoke with him, and then we agreed that the best way to ensure that we could solve those communication was to ask one more of the team senior members to translate whenever there was no questions at all. Whenever everybody was silent and nobody was asking, he would repeat what I was trying to explain in the local language. So it was kind of having my translator right next to me, and that helped a lot to solve those issues.
So, what were some concrete moments, special moments in which you were presented with those type of difficulties?
Well, specifically was during the training sessions. In the training sessions, I was trying to explain how a ticketing tool is working to capture any complaints from our stakeholders, and they could not identify how they would be displayed when they would use the tool. So it was something really, really technical, and thanks to the colleague that was helping me to translate, we were able to get it clear, and everybody understood what needed to be done.
So, let's pretend that I'm someone who hasn't heard anything about India, doesn't know about the culture, the customs, and anything. So, how would you describe India to me?
In general, I would say India is not an easy place to live, particularly because it's really crowded. Not all the cities have all the mobility and safety for women. In my case, no? If it's just a group of women, or is just one single lady, that needs to go to work every day, like safety is a must. Like either you need to be escorted all the time, or you need to have a very, very diligent business driver that can take you to the office and to whatever you need to during the time that you plan to live there. That is if you are on your own. But of course, if you are in a group where there's men and women, it's a bit easier. And in general, you have more success if you embrace the day to day important activities of your teammates. For all my teammates during the time I was there, the different festivities of Indian gods and Indian costumes were extremely important. People was doing praying. Some others were watching cricket games. Some others were taking their hair off because they were doing some promises to very specific ends or very specific blessing requirements that they wanted for their family. So all that kind of things on the day to day are really, really important to them, and you really need to be aware of that, and you need to truly value the fact that they are sharing all of those initiatives and gifts and experiences with you. I think that is the most important. If you truly want to feel less out of place and get used to the culture, you really need to embrace the entire experience, not just whatever is about work, but everything surrounding your day to day as well.
Well, thank you very much, Rebecca. I appreciate a lot that you're taking the effort to answer those questions. I know because of the time zones, we can't communicate in a live interview, but I appreciate, as I said, the effort that you're putting into these type of questions. So thank you very much, Rebecca, and thank whoever is watching right now.